Hi everyone. In today's video, we are going to discuss about the OMP protocol. Now, as you know, OMP stands for Overlay Management Protocol. This protocol is basically used to send the control plane information from vSmart controller to the routers. Now, why we are using OMP protocol at the first place in SD-WAN network? We are using OMP protocol. The reason is that OMP is a layer 3 protocol and it will be used as a control plane information navigator or exchange of control plane will be done with the help of vSmart controller. Now, why vSmart controllers? Basically, we want to reduce the control plane complexity in the SD-WAN network. To reduce that complexity, all the routers which will be part of your fabric will only create neighborship with vSmart controller. Which neighborship? OMP neighborship. Yes, that's correct. The routers are not going to make the neighborship with one another in the SD-WAN network. This is how the complexity of control plane will be reduced. The advantage is that your router will only have one neighbor so that the control plane information can be exchanged. You can think OMP protocol as IBGP concept of route reflector. In the case of route reflector, you know that all the clients will make neighborship with the RR, which is declared. Similarly, in SD-WAN network, all the routers make neighborship with vSmart controller only. Now, with the help of OMP protocol, which information can be exchanged in between the routers and the smart controller. The first information which a router is going to exchange with your vSmart controller is known as OMP routes. Think of a scenario. Let's say I have a router at a site. The site ID is 1 and this router have made the connection DTLS channel with vSmart controller. Now what will happen is this router can exchange the service side network information with the help of OMP in OMP routes. Let's take one example. This router 1 is having a VPN 10 and the network information is 10.0.0.0. Now what will happen? This subnet will be provided to vSmart controller by the router. vSmart controller will add this information in its routing table. After adding this information in its routing table, vSmart controller is going to provide the same network information to all the other connected routers. The same will be done by all the other routers. Okay, only network information. The next information, not only the network information, the next type of route which a router can exchange with the help of OMP is known as TLOC routes. Now, think of a situation. We have a edge device, WAN edge router. It is connected with two transports. The first transport is MPLS and the second transport is internet. This is our example. Now, in this case, router have two TLOCs. Now, what is a TLOC? In the last video, we have already discussed it. You can see the last video to understand more about TLOCs. If the router have two TLOCs, router is going to provide this information to vSmart controller. This will be done with the help of TLOC routes. Now, TLOC routes will be forwarded by the router to vSmart controller with the help of which protocol? With the help of OMP protocol. Next, the next information which can be exchanged with the help of OMP protocol is a network service route. Now, this is something interesting. Let's take one example. I have a site. This is a data center site, and in my data center site, we have a service. For example, I have placed a firewall. I want that the traffic of a particular VPN should be forwarded from the firewall. For example, my branch site have users. These users are part of VPN number 10, and we want the traffic to be forwarded from the firewall towards the internet. So what will happen? The router at the data center site, this router is going to advertise a network service route. That means this router is going to tell my vSmart controller that we have a firewall service. And this information vSmart controller will be providing it to other routers. With the help of network service routes, the branch routers will come to know that, okay, we have a firewall service available in our network. Similarly, apart from firewall service, intrusion prevention system and load balancer information, if we have placed these devices also, it can be provided with the help of OMP in which routes? In network service routes. These are the three routes. Which routes? Network service routes, TLOC routes, and OMP routes, which can be exchanged in the OMP protocol. Apart from it, OMP can do other things also. Like what? OMP also distributes the IPsec parameters like IPsec keys in between the routers. Let's take one example. This is one of my sites. This is my router at the edge. This is my another router. This is at site number maybe 20. First router is at site number 10. Now, you know that if these routers wants to exchange the information with one another, they will create which tunnel? The answer is correct. You guessed it right. It is IPsec tunnel. But for IPsec tunnels, these routers need to exchange the parameters or the keys. Are they going to exchange it directly? The answer is no. They are not going to exchange it directly. What will happen in between these routers? OMP protocol, not in between these routers. Actually, with the vSmart controller, these routers are going to exchange the IPsec parameters. For example, over here, the routers are going to exchange this IPsec parameters with the help of vSmart controller, and vSmart controller is going to use which protocol in between the routers? The same protocol, OMP. Next. Policies. If I talk about data policies, now there are two types of policies in the SD-WAN network. The first kind of policy is known as control plane policy. The second policy is known as data plane policies. Data plane policies are implemented on the routers. Now, if I will tell you, it works something like this. This is your vManage. Let's take one example. This is your vManage controller. You are going to create the policy over here. Which policy I'm talking about? The data policy. This data policy is forwarded to your which controller. From vManage, it will be forwarded to vSmart controller, and vSmart controller is going to push this policy to the routers. Now, how vSmart controller is going to push the data policies to the routers? The answer is OMP protocol. With the help of OMP protocol, your data plane policies will be provided to WAN edge devices. This is how important OMP protocol is. Now, OMP protocol works at which layer? OMP protocol works at layer number 3. And it is a TCP based protocol, you can say that. But AD values are 250 and 251. 251 for AD value of which device? For Cisco device. If I talk about Viptela devices, they use 250 as the AD value for OMP protocol. So in routing table of these two devices, the AD value can be different. Now, after OMP protocol, the next topic for discussion will be certificates. On your SD-WAN network, there are devices. Devices needs the certificates. How many certificates a device need? Devices need two kinds of certificates. The first kind of certificate is known as with certificate, root certificate, and the second kind of certificate is known as node certificate, or you can also say it as a device certificate. On a router or on a controller, if you want to check on a Viptela device, I'm saying if you want to check whether the device have root certificate or the node certificate, you can run the command show certificate root ca cert to check the root certificate. To check the node or device certificate, the command is show certificate install. You can check the certificates with the help of these commands. Okay, can I check these certificates on Cisco devices also? The answer is yes. You just need to add a keyword which is SD-WAN. Show SD-WAN certificate is the command. You can run it on Cisco devices and see whether the certificates are installed or not. Okay, is there any another command? Yes, there are some other commands like show control local properties. With the help of this command also, you can see the certificate on the devices. Next, how can your device obtain the certificate? Now, there are multiple options which Cisco have given. For example, first option is automatic Cisco certificate. The second option is your enterprise CA, and the third option is manually you can add the Cisco certificate. These are few options which are available. When once you set up your vManage, at that point you will go to the GUI of vManage. In the settings, you will have to select this option. 90% of the times you will see that enterprises are using their own certificate. It will be enterprise CA certificate. So this is how you can check certificates on the routers. For this, now we will end up this session. Meet you in the next video. Thank you guys. Bye.
वीडियोस बनाने हैं, फिल्मोरा है ना।